in Chile, right?
Yeah.
How come that you are in Chile now?
Family reasons, personal reasons.
Okay.
Okay, good. Well, I love South America. So that's why I know Fede, this guy too from Argentina. So I like Chile too. It's there every now and then, and it has a great metal scene actually. Is there, no?
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. I've been selling a lot of books and singles and stuff here. So of course, I sell to a lot of band members that give me demos and stuff. So yeah, I think the scene seems to be like thriving quite well here. And when I was here in lockdown, like in springtime, well, European springtime, this was autumn, winter. I also made this like Spotify playlist. So the Chilean bands, underground bands could like, send me a link, I'll put it on the playlist, and became a couple of hours long actually with like just one song per band, like unique stuff. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
So you know better than us about the metal scene in Chile. For
So
sure.
it seems.
Yeah.
So it seems, yeah.
Yeah. So you speak Spanish as well?
No, it's a work in progress, going very slow. Sadly.
Well,
next interview probably in Spanish. We will see.
I hope so.
Perfect, because
we
want you here, more concerts and in the future, all in South America, man. We want to receive you with all your bands.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been here with Darfuno before, of course.
Yeah.
We have been talking about if it would be possible to bring GRA somehow down to South America, but it's a financial dilemma. That's the thing, because it's still an underground band, and yeah, if you do the math, we will have to put out quite a lot to make it work, and yeah, it's not so easy.
Have you been to Australia? I'm from Australia. Have you been to Australia before, or is it the same kind of issue with you need to sell a lot to come
with
over?
Darfuno, we've been to Australia actually last year.
Okay, cool.
We did Australia and New Zealand also.
Oh, nice. And
yeah.
for GRA, have you been there yet with that project?
No. The thing is that it's tricky to actually get out of Europe, because immediately you have visa fees for the United States, for example.
Okay.
And then you have for Australia also. I mean, the flights are expensive as fuck, and that's where you start, to get on the plane, and you need to have visas, and you need to have like a booking agents that knows, the way around all these things. Not to get trapped in bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So it is a bit tricky to get out of Europe at all,
Yeah.
Right. You need a different visa. You can't do it on a tourist visa, right? You need some artist visa if you want to perform live in the United States and in most countries.
Yes, exactly. And I've seen bands actually get caught in the States, so they have to just turn around and cancel everything.
Wow.
Because they try to get in with a tourist visa.
Yeah,
it's enough with one guy, checking your name, your passport on Google, and they can see if you're in a band. They can see a tour poster, and then you're done.
Yeah, I remember. I think one guy from Horna got like sent back or something because they checked his phone and found lots of satanic content, and then he got sent back immediately. I think I remember. Yeah, I mean, tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky. But also I'm not in a position to gamble with that either, because if I do gamble with GRA, then I'm gonna have problems with Darfuno later.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's gonna come back and bite me in the ass completely. So those underground paths are no, I can't do it.
Yeah, so risky.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And this morning I woke up with Death and Roll, man, from first.
Okay.
Wow. I love it. I love it. You singing and playing some death metal. So that's another project.
Yeah, it's different. I started that band in '98 actually as a side project thing that wasn't supposed to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then we released an album in 2014 maybe, something like that. So it's a long time. Some of the songs on that album are actually 90s songs blended up with some newer stuff. But I put that band on ice in 2018. I figured 20 years is enough. And it wasn't, I'm too busy with everything else. So I was like, why have this band active when it's only gonna give me stress because I'm not paying attention,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that situation.
Yeah, the guys.
I'm sorry?
And also for the other guys, they need to pay attention.
Well, actually, the other guys are exactly the same as the GRA guys. So it was like we were starting to do shows almost with two bands, same members. Now, so we had to choose, and we chose to go with GRA. Actually,
that's very nice. So powerful, GRA.
Thank you.
Yeah, GRA I discovered actually today. Of course, we prepared. And I think I heard it before, but I didn't really check it out. But I'm quite impressed. I'm quite impressed by all your projects, actually. You're kind of some serial black metal entrepreneur. Like so many projects and soundtrack. I saw something like, how comes that you're so active? Like, how can you maintain all that? Do you find time for everything? How is it?
Well, the thing is that a lot of these things take time. I mean, I released my solo single recently, but I started working on that song in '98. It's an old song that I've been like put aside, you know, and in comes band, song doesn't fit. And then me and my friend Elder, we were like getting shit-faced in a bar in Oslo 5 years ago, I think it was. So we were like thinking, how do we sound, you know, without a band? What would our music sound like with only ourselves as the ingredient? Like, and then we just borrow musicians that we feel that can fit into this concept, and that's how this split took shape. I mean, piece by piece, and it's been like a 5-year process just to get it together. And the song was like written back in '98, the skeleton of it. So, I mean, all these things are like walking parallel. I have like almost a new GRA album finished that the guys are rehearsing now. I'm composing lyrics for Dark Funeral. I mean, I do a lot of stuff all the time, but they end up in different shelves, and sometimes you pick something from there and put it there. So for this movie that I made the score for also, that was a great place because I found in that shelf, I found this old like acoustic piece that I didn't have any use for an album or something. I put it there, made it work. You know, so yeah, I think all of these things just combine this like my creativity for the last 20 years. And I guess now more and more things are pouring out of it.
So do you like to work that way where you have a lot of things going at the same time? So then maybe if you No,
I try to finish things, but you know, I think of new things. You know, when I finish something, then I need to finish something else because now I sold out. My book is sold out. That's something. The movie score is sold out. So of course I'm getting involved with new shit.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Like
not because I want to, because it's like, I don't know, it's like a programming.
You know what?
I automatically fill the spaces for myself.
Yeah.
I recently wrote to a friend in Santiago, and I told him, hey, you must to see Andreas from That Funeral because he has the booklet, and you must to buy, and that's it. It's sold out. We need more. Another edition.
Well, I have been asked if I'm going to make more because this is 100% self-released. I don't have any publisher or anything. So I don't know. I am thinking if I will do a second edition, I will not do it before I can go back on touring.
Yeah.
Because that will make more sense to bring maybe 50 copies for a tour and just sell them to places where they wouldn't end up otherwise. Because I've been doing mail order now for a couple of months, and I sold this 200 copies. And actually, I sold to Australia, I sold to South America, I sold to United States a whole lot, and all over Europe and so. But yeah, I don't think there is a point in just making more and making more. I think the value in making something limited is also, for me, it gives it a bigger value. And then if I make another press, I'll be super clear about it being like a repress. This is not the first edition, it's the second edition, maybe with a lower price even. I don't know. But something different. Maybe a picture or two is changed or something, you know, to make the first edition feel special. As special as it is to me because it's my first book. So
yeah, only for the fans.
Yeah, for the fan, for myself.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
What's about Dark Funeral these days? Because the last album is many years ago, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and since February, I think we haven't done one single show either. And I've been here in Chile most of the time. But we are working actually all the time. Like a couple of hours ago, I was doing some demo vocals for a new song.
Wow.
So I have my mini studio with me here, so I can work. And Lord Areman is in Stockholm, so he's sending me riffs. I write some lyrics to them, record a demo, like really rough demos, send them back, and then we evolve the songs like this.
Yeah.
So we're actually writing the album right now, the next one.
Nice. And
Do
when
you-
are you planning to come back to Europe?
When I have a reason to. I mean,
Good.
right now Europe is cold. I don't have any jobs there. I don't have anything to do. Here I can work as well. I have nice weather. I have, more private life here. So I will go back to Europe, I think, when it's time to record the album, basically.
Good.
Or to start rehearsing, like pre-production rehearsals for the actual album recording. So I'll be here over the New Year's. So
When
maybe
it-
February
when
or
it-
March, I'll go back, something like that.
When it comes to writing, do you find it easier to write lyrics if you're writing the music as well? Or I guess it's different if you're not writing the riffs. Do you find that it's easier to write when you're composing the lyrics as opposed to just writing the lyrics? Composing the music and writing the lyrics, not just doing the lyrics.
That's a good question, and I think you have to put everything into context with this, because Dark Funeral has been around since I was a kid. So I joined something that already have some kind of framework that you work within, and Areman is an excellent songwriter, so I don't see any reason to interfere with that. So my role is to do the lyrics, basically, and vocal arrangements and so on. And I think it works really well with that. On the other hand, in GRA, I usually do most of the things. I compose the music and I compose the lyrics, but the music is different, and the whole, I think it's really difficult to compare.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it really, but it's you have your roles. And actually for the next GRA album, I have tried to invite the other guys because now I'm not in Sweden. They have the rehearsal place for themselves. Actually, I set up microphones over the drum kit and everything.
Yeah.
Made sure I made like a Cubase dummy. You can record shit here. This is how you record shit. So go crazy and send me what you can create. So I'm trying to evolve there, not just to include people, but also to dare to take a step back for myself also.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah.
So this next GRA album it's a bit experimental for me in that sense, as I'm not this control freak about it, and I really set my mind not to be either. Of course, I'm gonna have all my opinions and shape things, steer it in the right direction in the end, but I try to be open with this. Do it something different. And also this solo thing that I have going, there is where I can put my control freak.
Right.
So maybe this will work out. Maybe I'll change everything in a year when I revise everything. But this is like how I'm trying to think right now. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's quite common for bands. Like you have lots of solo projects where you can see that the individual artists just play with their own genuine ideas without compromising. I think it's a quite common thing to create spin-offs actually from the main band.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing also, because if you have that extra creativity, you don't have to wait for anyone. The band can do the things in the time of the band, but you as a musician can go on instead of like joining 3 or 4 other bands. To have this little toolbox to play. You can play in your own little sandbox almost, and bake your own cakes the shapes you want them.
And I guess you're kind of keeping that creative muscle in shape by using it all the time. So then when it comes to another project, it's already ready to go, so to speak.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I guess, yeah. That's a way to see it. And I know myself, if I stop doing things, I will stagnate and like become depressed almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, does it cost you actually discipline to get things going? Like, how is your personal method to stay in shape, basically, to put the creativity out?
What do you mean? Can you explain a bit?
I mean, I'm a bit of an artist myself, and sometimes I feel like stuck and I don't get things going, and I have to force myself to start to create something. And then usually the first phase is super frustrating. And once the machine gets going, then it just pours out, the material pours out, you know? Like, how is it for you?
Well, that's how GRA started, because we were actually working on that Cursed 13 album. And we got into this like block. Nothing comes out of it. And we tried and we tried. I mean, it's like going to the bathroom and produce when you don't have anything to give, you know? So of course you need to eat something. So we took like a bunch of 6-packs to the rehearsal place, and I had just bought this like basic recording equipment. So we were like, okay, let's put this up and see what happens. See what happens if we put a microphone there. And that was like, that's how the first GRA EP was born, in that weekend. Everything was written, recorded, everything in those 2 days that we spent just relaxing, not trying to force ourselves to create, but create because creation was there.
Yeah.
And that's how we got around it. So we did the EP, and then we got like a record deal to make the first GRA album. So we said, sure, we can try and see if this happens again, and it did. So we made the album, and then this Cursed 13 album started to like tick in the back of our heads, like, maybe it's time to do this. Let's try. Yeah, and everything was like ready. Yeah, and this is the next one. Okay, yes. So we had to walk around it, and then after a while, it came after us and caught up. So that, right. I think that's something. If you get stuck, start working on something else immediately. Don't sulk, because sulking and feeling sad and sorry for yourself is not going to happen.
Yeah, right. Right.
I want to ask you about the, you're talking about the food, yeah, but what are you hearing these days? I mean, maybe some new music or something, because we were talking with the guys, and we think that maybe there's nothing new music, around. So.
Well, there is a lot of new music around, but I tend to stick to old music anyway.
Yeah.
I read a study somewhere that when you pass 30 years of age, you have basically developed your musical taste. And after that, it's hard to, you don't want to have any new things. So by stretching it, for me, maybe I will buy the new album from an old band. And I think it's really, really unfair. And it's stupid, but that's what I do. I mean, the time when I have to listen to an album, maybe I'm driving my car for an hour or something. I'm not going to gamble with that time. Hell no. I'm going to put the Mysterious Dum Satanas because I know that album from start to finish. And that's how long my drive is going to be.
Right.
Which is unfair, because there are so many great albums out there that I haven't ever listened to, just because they haven't been on my radar. It's as simple as that. It's not being like an asshole or looking down on anything. It's just, I think my taste is kind of developed, and that's it. Kind of sad but true.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a metalhead thing as well, because like we create such a deep bond with the music that it sticks with us, and we come always back to the same tunes, to the same bands, to the same sounds. Like I noticed that with age. I mean, I'm 45 now. Like other people just listen like this summer to that song, and then they let go and completely forget about the artist or whatever,
Yeah.
But as a metalhead, I think you always stay with the same bands. I'm exactly the same. Always come back to the same. I try to discover new things, and that leads me to the very interesting question: what do you think about deathcore, metalcore, and all these relatively new styles?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to think, because I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. The thing is that I was talking to Arman about this like a couple of years ago, and you have all these new sub genres of black metal too, you know, with all these letter combinations and stuff. And we realized that is not for us. I mean, that's for the younger kids that needs that and wants that, and that's how they developed that. For me, black metal is black metal or it's not. It's not half and half. It's not 20%. It's not like a cup of coffee where you can put some cream and it's still coffee. No, if you put cream, it's not coffee anymore. I don't know. So this sub-genres, these new things, to me, they usually sound like the same, but they call it with a different name. Yeah. I don't know. I have a hard time with this sub-genres because I don't understand the difference.
It's
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's all about metal, we talk.
Yeah. In the end, yeah. In the end, I've been trying to put together like this top 10 list for top 10 albums for 2020, for example. But it's tricky. I mean, I return to actually I have it open here. Like I can mention a few.
Yeah.
Toulouse released this old Death album. That is fantastic. But it's an old band. The first album is from '95, I think. Catatonia is okay. The new album, also old band. Raven, old 80s metal. That new album is fantastic, by the way. So and that's how it goes on. The new Sodom album, you know.
You can share. You can share with us that list.
No, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it.
You're gonna post it. Okay.
You'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really finished with it yet, but it's something that I do when I don't have too much time. But I was actually like honestly thinking about this, and I'm trying to listen to new stuff. But this list is, I don't think anything is like new here. Well, that would be. Well, a discovery that I made was this guy called Colter Wall. He's like a US country musician.
Oh, country musician.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He made a cool album, actually. Yeah, I really like country, especially the old singer-songwriter styles, you know.
Okay.
Willie Nelson is on my list also, of course.
Wow. How about Kenny Rogers, man?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not? Johnny Cash, you have Willie Nelson, you have Waylon Jennings, all the Highwaymen albums. I mean, one of the best live albums in the world is the Highwaymen live at Nassau.
Yeah.
So put that on and hear the screams when Johnny Cash enters the stage. I mean, it's insane.
Well, but he was a hero, man.
Yeah. Of course. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The music holds still today, I think.
Yeah. Was it on the Shea Stadium, isn't it? Johnny Cash?
Yeah, it's a big place. I think Nassau, isn't that like in the Bahamas or something like that?
Bahamas, yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, that concert is giving me goosebumps every time. I love it. I really love it. I have it on CD and I have it on DVD, VHS, all the formats that you can find it, you know.
Yeah. It's surprising for me, you know, because I'm thinking that the metal guy must be metal 24 hours a day. No, fuck no. I often surprise people because I also love the Doors, for example. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it's an old classic band. What's not to like?
The original Doors, or when they come back with the guy from the Cult in Asbury.
No, the Doors never came back.
Well, almost.
No, not as far as I know.
Yeah.
They were playing here in Argentina in I think 2003 or 4, something like that. But the singer were Ian Asbury from the Cult.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Don't worry. Here are the original ones. It's okay.
Yeah, of course. But I know, of course, that all the guys that survived the gym, of course, had their own careers. But I didn't know they did much as the Doors, except that was it 1 or 2 albums that were not really that awesome.
No, better the oldest.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. How did you actually, like, back to the past, how did you actually get into metal? Like, you had lots of friends, or you developed some music taste by yourself, or how was it for you personally?
Well, I was a young teenager. Maybe I was even like pre-teen, maybe like 12 or something. I had an older cousin that was really into this stuff, and I saw him walking around with his leather jacket with some, you know, cool t-shirts. So me and his younger brother, which was more my age, we were sneaking into his room, borrowing vinyls and putting it on their mom's vinyl player and tape it to tape, you know, to cassette. And
Yes.
then we put it back, like, so we had it on cassette, like we tried to, and, you know, imitate the words in Old English. We could barely read it ourselves, but so we did that, and then we put the album back super carefully, of course, not to be discovered. So that was like,
which albums was that? Which bands was that?
I have an old cassette. I think the oldest one I know contains Blood, Fire, Death by Bathory.
Yeah.
For example, and I think one really old My Dying Bride album also, like one of the early ones. I don't remember which one, but I think those were like side A and B on that cassette, for example.
Right.
Another
It took you some time.
Huh?
It took you some time to get into it. Like in my case, for example, I started with Manowar, and I went to Slayer, and then I went to Darkthrone, like straight up, you know. And how was it for you? Like, you liked it from the very first moment on, everything, or you got into harder stuff with time, or?
Well, actually, before, when I think I was 10 or something, I got the AC/DC cassette, Razor's Edge.
So that was
from my uncle. He gave it to me, and I really loved that. And then I think Iron Maiden introduced itself to me, and Sepultura, and then something like that. So it's been a bit like this, but kind of steep, I would guess.
How did you get Sepultura at that time?
Oh, my cousin had it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the Arise album was the new one.
Well, one of the best of them.
Yeah. Or maybe Beneath the Remains. I think both even. And then I bought KSAD later myself when it came out.
Oh, yeah,
right.
But those were the days before the fucking internet and shit.
Yeah.
When you actually listen to an album more than once, if you had bought it, because you actually paid for it.
Oh, well,
yeah,
good.
Exactly. And looking back, would you say when you're a metalhead, you develop a different lifestyle or a different character, or how do you think it has influence, or it doesn't matter at all? What do you think?
I think today the kids have it well. I mean, they can discover, and maybe that's why there are so many subgenres these days also, because they have so much to choose from. So, and they have everything. I mean, when I went pretty steep, as I said, to extreme metal, but I have been backtracking, even back to Elvis and country music, and Creedence Clearwater, that kind of stuff. I've been backtracking by purchasing things, and also when Spotify came and you could start streaming pretty much everything. That has been like, whoa, this is so luxurious in discovering things. And then you go make a list and go to the record store and see what you can buy of those.
Yeah, right. And okay, one thing which personally interests me as well, like, how is it like the moments before you go on stage? Like, how do you prepare for that? Like, how do you feel? Is it like a routine for you meanwhile, or you're kind of each time nervous, or how is it?
It's a bit different from time to time. I think it depends on the mood, I guess. But I think like the minutes before, or maybe like the 15 minutes before it's time to actually enter the stage, I try to clear my mind and just think about nothing. Just drain myself out of anything that can be distracting. And then if I'm successful, I have this feeling when I actually go on stage that I am behind myself. I'm seeing myself go on stage, so I'm outside of myself. And often throughout whole concerts, I feel like I see myself from behind. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm outside of myself almost.
Yeah, you feel like another person, for example.
Yeah.
Last night I saw again your concert with Dark Funeral in Bogota, in Rock al Parque stuff.
Oh yeah.
How was it? Because it was like 70,000 people there.
73,000 we were told.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big.
You
It was weird. I mean, because before, I think Dark Tranquillity played before us, if I remember correctly. And we went to see them a bit, and we saw the audience was like never ending, because also the sun went down. So it's like you have this horizon of people, and nowadays cell phone lamps. I don't know why people are standing like half a kilometer away with the lamp on their phone and think they're gonna get a better image, but people do that.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
most of them.
So you see that ocean of little lights, you know. It was interesting. I don't know. I wasn't scared. I wasn't like nervous or anything, because a concert is a concert, and once you are out there behind yourself, I have let go of all control anyway. So
Yeah, you gave
enjoying
everything on stage. If there's 73,000 people or 2,000, whatever,
it can be more difficult with 5.
Yeah.
you can
Actually,
see each one.
yeah, exactly. And you almost overdo yourself when the crowd is small. I don't know, because you don't have this like great sound. Because I did this streaming concert with GRA when I was back in Sweden a couple of months ago, and that was really, really, really weird, because you had 50 people in the audience. So it was like social distance friendly. And then you know that you have a couple of thousand watching in that little tiny machine, the camera thing. Yeah, that was creepy. That was more creepy than 73,000, because I can see those people, you know, and I can see the lights. But with this tiny cube, who's this?
Right. Have you thought about doing some live stream event or concerts like Behemoth or Miforash lately?
Well, we did that with GRA. That was the one in September, I think it was. But no, we don't know. We don't close the door for anything, but it needs to be really worth it. Not to just stand on a stage and do the songs straight up and down. It needs to be something special, and unless that presents itself, I don't think it will happen with our funeral. It needs to be special. So
yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question about, because you write lyrics in English and Swedish. Are there elements of the two languages that are able to convey perhaps what you're trying to say easier? Like, do you find yourself using being able to express yourself easier in Swedish or English, or how do they differ when it comes to writing the lyrics?
Well, I can write deeper in Swedish, because of course my vocabulary is way bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can be more specific, and I can be a bit deeper in Swedish, I think. Because English is not my first language. I think I have a pretty decent vocabulary anyway, but it's still not. I think all the English countries also have like local differences, right?
Yeah.
So you would describe something in a certain way depending on where you are. But for me, English is generic.
Yeah.
So I don't have this like personal attachments to it in that sense, other than what my maybe favorite movie stars or singers or people have done. But that would be like super weird for me to imitate Clint Eastwood, you know. So I think when I write in English, I write more cosmetic. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Because it's also how the words look in English for me. Because you have this first cosmetic layer, of course, and then you have the meaning of the words, and then you have the deeper meaning, and then maybe you have your personal meaning. So you're writing in many layers. And for some reason, I think when I write in English, I put a bit more emphasis on the cosmetics on top.
Okay.
I think so. I don't know how else to explain it.
And then I suppose it's up for the audience to attach their own maybe deeper levels of meaning to the surface
Yeah, but that
appearance.
goes for, I mean, that goes for both languages, I guess. And
Yeah.
sometimes when I'm writing for GRA, I have been writing in Swedish and then I change and I translate to English because it fits better, it sounds better.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a more aggressiveness in English that it wouldn't have in Swedish, and maybe the other way around is true sometimes.
Yeah,
that I would
yeah.
like to have this subtle, like this word that I want to emphasize a bit more, and I can do it better in Swedish. It's
Yeah.
more a finger in the eye in Swedish than it would
So-
be in English.
So the sound of the word, if it's in English or Swedish, can make a difference to whether you put it in or whether you choose to sing it in English or Swedish, on how it
Yeah.
actually sounds as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think so. And you, I don't know. Do you speak many languages yourself?
No. So for me, it's as a ignorant English speaker, I'm fascinated with when it comes to writing, how you can express yourself and whether you're thinking differently and whether you even have a different personality depending on what language you speak, which is, determined by, for example, if your vocabulary is not as large, you may feel yourself not being as expressive because you don't know the words. So it's just fascinating to me. And when it comes to someone like you that writes in both languages, why you switch between one and the other, I find that very interesting.
Yeah, but with our funeral, everything has always been in English, and I don't see a change in that because English is more international, really. And I think it would be weird to have a Dark Funeral song in Swedish. Actually, maybe as a weird B-side experiment or something, but to have it actually as a song on an album, I don't see it. I don't see the purpose of that. So for Dark Funeral, it is English for me, and there is no question about it. I don't have to doubt that. Yeah.
It's like Opeth doing their latest album in an English and a Swedish version, I think was quite interesting. Catering to the different audiences and maybe,
Yeah, exactly. And I think probably the reason, I don't know, I haven't talked to Michael in Opeth about that, but I can see the reason why they would do that, because they can.
Yeah.
And because, of course, the songs they are different. I think they will get completely different nuances. Because that's something that is hard to paint in a foreign language, nuances. These tiny vague things that you do without even knowing it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Good, guys.
I'm curious about the first Spanish song.
Well, I don't see that coming for a while.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
Huh?
We can help you with that, with the Spanish.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Also, Michael, who is German, he lived here for a couple of years, many years ago. He speaks really good Spanish. So
you would all be picking on me for my accent.
Oh, my accent is terrible. Like
my Spanish
when
accent
I'm in
would be
Spain,
horrible.
when I'm in Spain, it's the worst. I'm a German foreigner and a Sudaca, a South American foreigner. Like I'm also bad things combined. Opposite things. Like it's miserable. But in Chile, English is quite common in Chile, Or how is it like in Argentina? Not everybody speaks English actually.
Yes and no. I mean, the younger people are more likely to understand English. To speak English well, no, that's kind of rare. I would say. So, I mean, I have to use and practice my daily Spanish, when I go to the store to understand what numbers they're giving me when I'm getting change back and what I'm supposed to pay. If I want a bag, if I want the receipt, like those tiny things that you don't even think about.
Yeah.
So that is like daily training. And of course, a cashier in general in a kiosk will not understand English or Swedish.
Oh no, not Swedish.
No.
It's an interesting experience, to live in a different country with different language, and you have to adapt somehow and try to understand and make it through. Like I remember when I left first Germany, it was like everything was super intimidating and difficult. And now, I mean, now I live in Hungary. I don't speak Hungarian at all. I just go arrogantly wherever and I start to talk whatever, you know, and somehow I get always through. And how is it for you? Like, you feel totally comfortable, or how do you integrate? Like, you feel like a foreigner in Chile, or how is it for you?
Well, of course, I'm a foreigner. And yeah, but I think I don't know what people expect South America often to be. I think people are underestimating South America quite a lot, especially Europeans.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a lot of people think it's a bit barbaric or something. I don't know what word to use really, but I mean, people here are like everywhere. I mean, the language barrier is the biggest. Apart from that, we're all eating the same food, we're drinking beer, you know.
Yeah.
Basically no big difference. It's the language barrier is the biggest one, I think. I haven't noticed any other weird parts really. It's just, if I could speak better Spanish, I think everything would be easier, and I'm working on it.
Yeah, but anyway, in each country of Latin America, the accent is so different that it's not too easy, you know, to understand the Chilean from Argentinian from Colombian. So yeah, enjoy. That's it. Simple.
Well, yeah, well, the only difference I can make is at least from South America in general Spanish with Spain Spanish.
Yeah,
because you don't do the lisping.
Yeah. That's true.
That's different.
Yeah. So you people are easier to understand here, I think.
Yeah. Well, for me at least, yeah. I don't know these guys.
Yeah.
Talking about South America, do you travel actually, like to Peru, Bolivia? Do you discover the continent as well?
No, on tour I've done that, of course.
Not for pleasure.
No, I haven't had the opportunity. I would love to go to Peru to eat. I've completely fallen in love with Peruvian restaurants. So I would love to have like a eat week in Peru, just to eat.
You like the seafood and so fishes and
yeah, I love it. Yes,
okay,
yes,
that's
fantastic. Yes,
that's a perfect place.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So of course I would love to travel more, but I haven't gotten around to it really, because in a way also when you travel a lot with the band, it's not like you are so likely to like go on a vacation the week after to go get back to the airport to check in again, and you know.
Yeah, right.
So a lot of these vacation points that I've been to has actually been like at the end of the tour or before a tour, like having an extra week in the States, having an extra week in Japan, because you have the flights already. So the only thing you need to do is, you know, plan ahead and have a hotel ready for you when the last show is done. And you can discover. Last year we went to Ukraine and Russia, so I took the opportunity to go to Chernobyl, for example.
Oh, nice!
Wow, Chernobyl. How was it?
Fantastic. Do it if you can. Seriously. The tour guide that we had there, he said that this Pripyat, which is the village, the city, it's starting to deteriorate so bad that some roofs are caving in. So they are suspecting that maybe within 10 years it will not be allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah, right.
So don't wait. If you have the opportunity, go there and go see it. It's, I don't know what else to say than it's magical, you know, fucking fucked up in a weird way.
Yeah.
We're gonna try next year, next summer time. How's about Chile? Do you know more places in Chile or just stay in Santiago?
Well, COVID came, so I haven't had the time to go around so much. I mean, I spent, was it 73 days or something like that in quarantine here and earlier this year.
Yeah. So
we have played in La Serena, we have played in Puerto Montt, which is like far south. And one place that I would really love to do is go to Easter Island.
Yeah,
because I think it's like 5-hour flight west from here or something like that, but it belongs to Chile, so that will be incredible to see.
Yeah, it's in the middle from Chile to Australia or something.
Sorry?
It's in the middle from Chile and Australia or something like that.
Yeah, it's in that direction at least. Yeah.
yeah.
I think so.
Far away. Good. Well, I'm living actually close from Puerto Montt because I live like
Okay.
8 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
Quite close from here. You know, the distance here are very long. In South
8 hours by car, you mean, or by plane?
plane, of course. It's huge, you know. Patagonia is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is.
So we're gonna invite you to sing or play also. I saw a video of you playing just with your guitar. It was amazing, man.
Okay. Yeah. I did it in during quarantine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made
These
one of those
days,
guitar
I
videos.
think 3 weeks ago, one, and another in like 2 months ago, something like that. Sounds pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I have a guitar here. Like I said, I have like a basic mini studio here actually. So I'm working on everything. Even though I'm here enjoying the sun, micheladas and everything, I can still work.
Yeah, I saw that micheladas. You love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And pisco? How about pisco? Because it's a big
Pisco is good.
between Peru and Chile about that.
Yeah. Well, why not? A piscola is always good.
Nice. Good election.
Yeah, or pisco sour. Yeah, of course. It's delicious.
Right, so you enjoy Chile also.
I do a lot. Yes, people here are awesome. The food is awesome. I love the temperature. Beers are good even. I mean, yeah, I like it. It's just the Spanish part I have to adapt to.
That's a little problem. That's it. And you have also Viña del Mar, very close to you.
Mm.
Did you go there?
No, I haven't yet. The problem is this lockdowns, because actually we were going away this weekend, but now starting tomorrow we go back to phase 2, which means almost lockdown
Again.
Oh.
Cases are rising, isn't it?
Cases are rising, and I think they're trying to save Christmas by doing this.
Do you have to wear a mask when you go outside?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Like here, I'm in Hungary as well, but even in Australia, we had to wear masks for 4 months, 5 months. Crazy, especially now you're in summer, yeah. So to wear a mask in summer is another thing.
Yeah, no, it's really, really warm here. So of course you try to find the one that has less fabric, you know.
Yeah, the breathable mask. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, I think the only time you're allowed to not wear one is when you're like running, exercise running.
Yeah.
Because that would be almost dangerous, I think.
Yeah. But anyway, in Santiago, there's quite like pollution over there, you know. It's not like that anymore.
Yes, the pollution is quite high, but I think also with this COVID thing, it has gone down because less traffic, less shit. Yeah.
Less work.
I guess so. And I don't know. I'm not an expert because I haven't been here that much, but I remember from the first time coming here, and now I think it's better now. But I don't know. Maybe it's also they say that it's worse in the winter.
Yeah.
The pollution is worse in the winter time here.
The last time you toured
just
in South America were in 2018, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many countries did you get that time in Latin America?
We started with Mexico, I think Costa Rica, and then we had Colombia, Peru, Chile, Uruguay, Argentina, and Brazil.
Brazil. Is that the end?
Yeah.
And Argentina, did you play in Buenos Aires and Cordoba? Both places?
Yes. I think 2 or maybe 3 shows in Argentina. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I think and 2 or 3 in Brazil also, and 3 here in Chile. 2 in Colombia. Yeah, 3 in Chile. Yes, Santiago, La Serena, and Puerto Montt.
Wow.
I just have a question about your creative process. Do you find yourself working better with a routine? Like where you dedicate 2 hours, 3 hours a day to working on something in particular, or do you work more on when the inspiration comes, whatever that means?
I think that the most important factor for my creativity and even also performance overall is sleep.
Okay.
So if I had a good night's sleep and then I sit down and do like an office day, like I'm doing here actually today, and I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Those are my most productive times. When I was younger, I think I was more like a night owl.
Yeah.
You know, spending whole nights until like the break of dawn. Just doing shit. But no, my body is not adjusted to that anymore for some reason. Maybe it's age related that you get this more natural clock or something. But no, I think I work best when I am well rested, when I've had my coffee, you know, peace and quiet and calm and no stress.
And do you treat it like a work day? Like, you know, you're sitting on your chair at a certain time, working until a certain time?
Yeah, I try to do that. I try to find that routine, and that's something that I haven't had in the past, that I recently started to do. And I think for me that is working really well, because I don't have this. When you're a musician or when you're like running your own company, regardless of what it is, if you don't have like a scheduled time for when you're supposed to do this, you are always doing it in your head, and that is after a while creating a stress, and you start forgetting things and you get pissed off because you forgot something. And for me, that has in later years became a burden. Because I feel stressed all the time, and I'm like, I'm supposed to go to a dinner with friends or something, and I'm still thinking about that fucking email I didn't send, you know. So by doing this, I have a bit more control, because I can also take notes all the time. Remember to do this. I make lists and shit.
So you really need that discipline to give you that kind of freedom, at least, freedom without the stress of thinking, shit, I need to do that. Creating that.
Yeah, I think more and more it has become so, because I can separate better, to take my mind off it when I'm hanging with friends or you know, doing private stuff. Because of course, when I came here also, I brought with me the rest of my books and a bunch of my CD singles. So I've been also meeting up with a lot of people here nearby, because what's the point of sending shit with mail if you're in the same city? So people have been coming to pick it up. And of course, that's also something that I need to schedule, because otherwise I forget. So I've had like a perimeter of within what times I can go meet people also, because I need to structure this. And of course, I don't want to mess up and sell more books than I have, or give the wrong stuff to the wrong persons and stuff like that. So yeah, organization has been more and more important. I don't know if you get more forgetful with age or more stupid or whatever, but yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful, and it's becoming increasingly so.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions from you guys?
No,
no.
We're so generous with us, man. You know.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys for the time. It was very interesting.
Amazing, Andrea. You know, I shared with the guys the interview that I made with you 4 years ago at Metal Days. And it was so interesting to hear and see you again, you know. So hope to have one of your bands, I think for sure that Funeral, but also GRA next year, hopefully here in South America touring, man.
Well, to be realistic, I think next year, no. I think next year everything is gonna, you know, when the plug is pulled with this COVID, when the amount of vaccinations reach the critical point where everything can be let loose, if you will. Of course, all the venues are booked crazy by all the concerts that wasn't happening in 2020. So we intend to focus on in peace and calm, finish this album, record it, make everything prepared and ready, and then we start planning. So we're not jumping into some stress wagon. And maybe some countries even still have, you have to have quarantine. Oh, we didn't, you know, all those things. So I think 2021 is going to be like a slow year overall. But true.
In 2 years, it's okay for us.
Yeah.
because I want you
Yeah,
on
that's-
summertime. I want you on summertime. So yeah, next year, 21, 22.
Well, summertime here means winter time up there in Scandinavia, so that sounds perfect to me.
It's good for you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's good for
Perfect.
us also. Big deal.
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Okay, so thank you very much for this very interesting interview. It was really a pleasure to talk to you, and yeah, well, hope to see you someday soon, maybe live on a festival, a live interview or something. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the interest. It was fun actually. Really fun. So have a great is it afternoon
to
where you
hear.
are now?
Evening for me, evening for Michael, and afternoon
Okay.
for
For me,
you.
it's the same
Yeah,
hour.
here it's around 3 now.
Yeah.
Around 3, yeah. For me, it's the same here.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you so
Anyway,
much.
take care.